10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Shadow Demon.
Dire team pick.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to more Mr. Cat action here on the early morning of this gorgeous.
10 seconds remaining.
Today's Friday, right? Anyway, I'm Android, being joined once again by
5
Trent.
seconds remaining.
How is it going, man? I got it
correct.
right.
Yeah, you got the day of the week correct.
So happy. That is one
Quite
side effect of living in the Moon Duck house. Is you just go by dates on the calendar, and I have not known what day of the week it was in a long time.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Behold the Horn of Magnus.
Ooh.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Yeah, I mean, what? I don't think I've seen a game where a team's actually allowed to get their hands on the Magnus. It's just 100% banned out against them. So
10
Faceless,
seconds remaining.
they've now got the opportunity to draft the rest of this game around their big
5
boy.
seconds
I
remaining.
mean, what do you pick? Do you go back for like an anti-mage because you get that free Battle Fury with the Empower?
Dire team ban.
It's so good. That's
10 seconds remaining.
terrifying. Oh my god. The PA Magnus sounds ridiculous.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, so many good options, honestly. At least they don't have the Ogre, so they're not going to have the double steroid.
Reserve
That's the other big opener that they love, hence why the Ogre is also banned out. Gives them that opportunity.
Radiant
And
team
yeah, they're going to
ban.
remove the Wraith King themselves. I mean, that big crit, it's kind of similar to how we always talk about Sven being a big counter to Juggernaut. It's similar with Wraith King. Just has an insane crit built in. He just like mans up on Jug and he can't do anything.
Alright, so
Hell yeah.
10
this is,
seconds remaining.
definitely going to be an interesting game. We saw game one,
5
even with more
seconds
traditional
remaining.
drafts, still very high octane,
Dire
go,
team
fight, fight, fight. And now, with all these bad boys in the pool, this is just going to get more and more interesting. Again, we are in a playoff best of 3. Game number 1 to Faceless, so Faceless take another one here. Clutch Gamers bumping down to the losers bracket,
10 seconds
but no one's going
remaining.
home, at least today.
Well, at least not in this series.
Not in this
5
series.
seconds
Sorry,
remaining.
next series we're going to be cutting off some heads.
Yeah, dunzo. But yeah, I like the Kunkka band too.
Reserve time.
Solid. Although we don't see it that much anymore whenever there's a Shadow Demon. You guys just try and rack into your brain and be like, oh yeah, that combo is very obnoxious to play against. And it could disrupt some of our wombo combo with our Magnus here too, so a solid choice there. But Shadow Demon, they have the Jug. They've got a couple different options. They could try and go for like a timing push once again. They could go for a lone druid style. Centaur is gone though. So we can't go like Centaur LD this phase. That'd be pretty sick. We look towards just their roamer. The 4 is already picked up by Faceless, so probably looking for that here. They could go Leshrac if they wanted to go for some more aggressive pushing and still combo with the Shadow Demon. Worst thing ever. You kind of want someone who can go into that jungle though and abuse this Magnus. You want to be like in his face, annoying him, so they could even opt in towards like a bounty sort of a strategy. This pick's very important because their 4 is going to set a lot of the pace of this game. And,
Radiant team.
a bold call here.
You're
One of the nice things
so
about yeah, well, Shadow Demon, he sets up for Nyx in a nice way too, which is pretty cool. You can just disruption into Impale.
10 seconds remaining.
I like it.
Definitely going to be a fun combo
5
to
seconds
set up. I mean, is
remaining.
it going to be our Shadow Demon partner, or is this is there going to be
Reserve
another
time.
It's
dedicated
open.
friend?
For sure. It's probably just going to be
Dire team
like
pick.
you want to keep the option there, get a couple more picks in. Now with the Rubik though, they'll probably have to make their choice here, assuming they want to hold the choice of Juggernaut mid or Juggernaut safe lane for your final pick.
Yeah.
So now they have to decide with the Rubik what they
10
want to do.
seconds remaining.
I mean, it's just such a gut reaction to see that Shadow Demon. It's like, oh, Luna's
5
going to get picked
seconds
here,
remaining.
but there's not really that much you can do with her. If the lane goes bad, you can't really throw her in the
Reserve time.
jungle. Sure, she's great with Ancients, but you got to give her like a safe lane, and Faceless are going to make that very difficult, especially with their roamers already picked up. So definitely not the black and white cut and dry thing we've seen before. Now there's going to be the OD. So not only do you have Disrupt, now you've got Astral. So Clutch can now take out 2 heroes, just remove them from the fight for a little bit. That's going to make it a lot easier for them to focus down their real targets.
Wow. So they are going to save their final pick then to determine if
10
this Nyx will have to be off
remaining.
lane or if it'll be support. So I guess that makes the most
5
sense too,
seconds
because your OD, you just pick this really strong mid laner, and now you can change the tempo of your
Reserve
game
time.
by quite a bit, depending if Nyx is a core or if he's support. If he's support, like going later is not the worst thing, right? He's still kind of fine with that. He just roams around with the SD. Maybe you can get someone who can help facilitate those earlier ganks, or even like a Tidehunter or something like that, you know, who just starts pushing with this OD, and you have this 5-man aura kind of a deal. So
Faceless
it's
void.
Whew.
a bit risky, and yeah, it'll be
Dire
the
team
FB
down.
here.
There's the choice. Going to pair nicely with that Magnus. Again, the Empower gives him that free Battle Fury, and that is why we see the Wraith King ban. I think there was a couple people in chat very curious as why, you know, Clutch didn't exactly execute the cleanest Wraith King last game, but
10
it's just because
seconds
it's
remaining.
so good with that Empower. You just
Oh, yeah.
farm like a madman. But Faceless
Radiant
Void going to be
team
picked up
ban.
for that role anyway. Is that just 100% their offlaner, or is he going to be trying his
position.
hand?
No, he'll be hard carry
Okay,
for sure.
number
He'll be
1.
black.
Ah,
Almost
I have
certainly.
not seen a black Faceless Void in a long time.
10 seconds
Thoroughly
remaining.
excited for this game. Whew.
5
now-
seconds remaining.
We do still have the Meepo potential, but again, with a, you know, Faceless Void, it's not exactly
Reserve
the most
time.
synergistic kind of a combination here.
Just like
So if we
here,
wanted to look past that,
here's all your brats under a chrono that can't
Radiant
move.
team pick.
they could PA in terms of like someone who can at least go mid and not have the worst time ever. Like dagger herself to success, get a little bit of help from the Earth Spirit. They can still Ember, is
10
fine.
seconds remaining.
But they have Nyx Assassin. If they Ember, they'll make the Nyx a core though,
5 seconds
more
remaining.
than likely. And then your life as an Ember is a little bit more difficult.
Reserve time.
Taking their time for this last pick. I'm liking what Faceless have going on. They've got a good mix of damage, a good mix of
Dire team
lockdown, a
pick.
good mix of roam, and now with the lone druid, they've got their split push as well. He's just gonna do his own thing. He'll hop into the fights when necessary, but I think it's very much gonna be a game of the 4 heroes and then lone druid just kind of shoveling a lane.
Yeah, that's a
10
smart pick.
seconds remaining.
It's basically like LD or Sniper are 2 of the heroes you look towards for
Oh,
laning
5
against OD
seconds
mid.
remaining.
I make that noise, but if you look at my like most recent 20 games, they're just
Reserve
mostly
time.
sniper. It's terrible.
Filthy.
It's so bad. Anyway, Clutch Gamer's last pick going in, deciding if this Nyx is going to be core or that position 4.
Ty's
Scuttler.
actually surprisingly good despite his Garbo status as of late.
I'd be down for a Tide. I think you kind of need that big AoE, like here is where we start the team fight kind of ability.
I don't think Beastmaster is very good because he's single target against Lone Druid, which is very obnoxious because the Savage Roar just comes out. If this was like Complexity, maybe we'd see that offlane Wind Ranger, but that's clearly not too popular anymore. You have weak initiation with SD Nyx, so I don't think you can do offlane Weaver. But if they wanted to try and do like a ratting kind of style, that's probably the hero you'd go for.
All right.
Take the SK.
Got both buggies. Both Scorpion dudes. So I don't know how I feel about Clutch's lineup. I like the big potential of Sand King's ults, and they've got many different disjoints with the Astral and the Disruption, but I feel like Faceless got this. They just seem like they know what's going on. Clutch seems like they have a very reactionary draft, but I could definitely be proven wrong. I think Clutch can set up for some really strong lanes, but in the end it's going to come down to team fights and push, and I just feel like Faceless, they got better abilities for that.
Yeah, Clutch are going to be in the exact same scenario as the last game, where if they miss that window, then it just gets very, very difficult. Magnus can split push around the map quite a bit, Lone Druid as well, and even Faceless Void, hard to track down and kill. They need that big group up moment. 5-man Dota at like 20 minutes are going to have a harder time taking at all. And I mean, the best thing they have will just be like healing ward and stuff, and they can kill Roche. It's just it'll take a while, and they'll have to watch for the chrono and the RPs, which means you have to win a pretty big fight in order to head into the pit in the first place. And then pushing into high ground will be a whole other story here. So certainly want to come out pretty favorably in the lanes here, I would imagine, for CG.
Absolutely. We're gonna go ahead, get on with it. No one needs more charcoal. That is, I think that. And one other time that the game has been paused, I just straight up laughed out loud. There was a time, were you casting with me? It may have been before I met you, where there was just a pause at the beginning of the game and it was just BRB vomiting. And I don't know, it was so funny.
Oh, that's life sometimes,
I mean, it's not what you expect when you load into a game. That guy, I forget who it was just so determined. Just went, had a little chuck, finished the game up. Nice and clean there. Anyway, any predictions for lanes that are going to be just severely one-sided?
30 seconds.
I'm looking forward to seeing where they put the resource of their Shadow Demon Nyx Assassin. This is not a very easy combo to get stuff done. There's no Leshrac. Like, you have the Impale, but it's just not that much damage compared to like SD Leshrac, or it's not as much control continuously over time as SD and Kunkka. It's like this awkward middle ground that at the very least like becomes way better at level 6. That's the one advantage Nyx has over Leshrac and Kunkka, where he can just do way more things by himself when he's actually leveled up. It's just getting there that's going to be difficult. But he has good base HP regen, 4.1, so he can go and tango a little bit with Ice 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 in the jungle, which is very helpful.
Alright, things starting out with even runes. No one getting too crazy, but this top lane, we'll see if it's going to be a little too tough for the Magnus, because like you mentioned, going against 3 heroes that are not going to be too happy that you're there trying to farm and can do something about it. You see even those little right clicks from Fly Solo starting to nip away at Ice Ice Ice. And Juggernaut, well, he'll be adding to that party down bottom. Sand King, I mean, should be pretty survivable. Is going to have that Burrow Strike, probably level 2, after picking up the Caustic if he wants to farm as efficiently as possible. So.
Yeah, for right now, he's just getting the full XY treatment. Completely zoned out. But he did get a block off. And they're unable to deward it in time. So that means it's all until 3 minutes. There will not be a camp here.
No.
Big deal.
Yeah, Sand King, he's going to get nothing for the first couple of levels, and it's, again, going to be exponentially harder to get the levels because he can't go into lane without feeling like he's going to die. So, may have to just play this one super duper safe. Meanwhile, our mid OD going against our mid Lone Druid on Jabs. I mean, how long is Jabs just going to be sitting mid and farming before he goes and moves stuff? Like, what's kind of the cutoff point for Lone Druids? When do you start getting active?
Radiant side. Usually it's around that same mark of like 9-10 minutes or something like that. Maybe respond to a gank up top or something, and like let's say Faceless Void TP's up top, gets a kill, and then you just like run top with them and you take down the tower. You just be that really early game siege engine. OD is a hero that doesn't really want to move out of lane either though, so
picks up the level 2, just picks up the Burrow Strike, is going to be able to initiate onto the Rubik, and that's going to be first blood. The turnaround from the Sand King as he snaps up that level in Q is going to be enough. So a little bit of XP, bunch of money coming to our Sand King that's going to make this next portion of the laning phase a lot easier on him.
Looked like Rappy skilled up into the Sandstorm too and tried to live right there, like that last moment, wasn't quite able to get it off in time. Obviously just getting the experience, but they actually killed the Rubik, so not too shocking they still went down. But a great turnaround play for sure. And we'll just go back to kind of seeing what's happening for Ice on the top, right? Like he's about to be level 3, he's 1 experience away.
Man, he is tragically close to that level 3.
Get out of here. Get out of this lane. How much gold does he have? He bought his boots, so not opting in towards the earlier Iron Town, meaning he'll be staying up here, but he's also holding Boombox and Fly Solo up here the entire time too. And being level 3 though, they definitely have the damage to kill Ice to this point without much doubt if he actually gets caught in the disruption though.
Down the bottom, Hana trying to play a dangerous game, goes and Burrow Strikes. Now that Burrow Strike is down, but Radiant aren't going to punish that just yet. Instead, Black continuing to work on his farm. He'll have a good time on that Faceless Void. I mean, they may not be able to kill the Sand King repeatedly, but Black is not going to be in a lot of trouble. He's not going to feel threatened by just a Sand King.
No, not as long as his supports are here. The matchup is... Oh, they actually... Yeah, they got the D ward off, and then he still gets the pull off from hand. Despite 2 supports being here, you get that pull. That's actually, like, brutal. That shouldn't happen. Oh, nice play by Rappy. And finds himself the range creep here, too.
Up in this top lane, Juggernaut spinning. We've got Magnus, who's charging his way to freedom. Makes it over that little wall and was not locked down. Now he's fresh out of mana. Probably going to go Shrine up to be able to stay in lane, but that was a successful escape. And yeah, things just going back to normal here. Sitting at 1-1 overall kill score from that action down in bottom lane, but for the most part, everything's just focused on farming right now, getting off to the best start you possibly can, getting those very first round items up. There we go, smoke in.
So rare to see, yeah, just how much attention was in those safe lanes, as you said, and they finally make that rotation here. There's no brown boots on the Shadow Demon. They went for the Nyx instead.
And Magnus, he's got to realize something's up, so probably just pinging like crazy. Like, hey, there's a bunch of people missing. Everyone better play safe.
He knows for sure.
Armel, he's going forward, but this has got to be a dead giveaway. They do get the Astral. The root proc onto the bear, though. They've got XY here. Armel could be in some serious danger. A couple more hits, and he'll be dead. One more. Do it. Can they actually find the kill that they need? There we go. XY able to secure that one. Now Boomback's looking for some retaliation. Tower does it for him, and Fly Solo makes his way back to his side of the map. So what was supposed to be a gank on lone Druid turned very, very ugly for Clutch Gamers.
Yeah, it's sick. He gets all the gold on the the Earth Spirit rather, and he bought out too. He didn't lose a single dime in that death there. So XY, and do you see what he did too? He didn't kick onto the OD. He kicked sideways onto Shadow Demon to make sure there wasn't a follow-up disruption onto jabs, and that allowed him to help chase after for a little bit too.
Dude, XY is a boss on this Earth Spirit.
I still actually have to double check every time I look at the quick buys of our carries. You see that hand of Midas, and you see them just buy a recipe, and you're like, wait, what? Or rather, you see the glove, and you're just like, oh, is that a Midas? And then it's, oh, no, it's just gonna be a glove of haste here for Black into the old Helm of the Dominator, which of course, Ice. That's what we love to see of his offlane Magnus. Pretty hilarious to watch.
The old
creep runs at you.
Helm Void. Back to our roots there. Helm is just so good right now. Aside from the little purge dude over here, what's your favorite creep to get?
Fly Solo just walk in and take that barrier.
He's just on it, man. Fly Solo, this may cost him his life, although nice disruption buys him some time. Boombax doesn't have the impale available, but just carapaces to make sure there's no retaliation. But alright, Shadow Demon got balls, just walks in and takes a bounty rune from behind the Magnus.
Actually so irritating. You were asking something,
it was just some bullshit, I forget.
Oh, excellent. Alright, good.
Oh,
Standard stuff, that's fine.
I was talking about what
Bottom
your
lane.
favorite creep is to get with the Helmet
Oh.
Dominator.
Oh, I like, I think Muggles are pretty dope. If you can, like, if you're like a Darkseer or something, you can just, you know, run them at people with iron shells and stuff. Pretty fun. Yeah. Centaur's pretty dope for backers, of course.
Oh yeah, I'm a Centaur fan. I call him Stompy. And there we go. Unfortunately, XY flew too close to the sun, keeled off as he just went to try to harass that tier 1 tower. Bit off more than he could chew there, but back to our mid lane, our Mel is still farming phenomenally well on this OD. Our lone druid keeping up with him, you know, somewhat. It's going to be 30 to 37. So lone druid obviously harassed back a little more, has to play safe with that bear, has to be very wary of ganks because at this point he's like 2 vulnerable heroes in one. Isn't quite tanky enough to make it on his own. So, yeah, just calm game right now. Nice pull in from
Weird to
Nuts.
have a mid lane that's so 1v1 these days. It's actually kind of crazy. There's been like almost no interference, just that one rotation play in from the supports. But other than that, it's just been OD and Lone Druid doing their thing. 2 very survivable position 1s and a Juggernaut and a Faceless Void. So the only real prey of this game is going to be your offlaners. It's just how it's kind of going to be, right?
Yeah.
Like trying to focus and force pressure onto them. Mix anyway. This is support 4, almost level 5, so pretty good levels so far for Boombox.
Nice.
Nuts is almost 6 down bottom too, though.
Yeah, he had a really nice pull here, soaked up experience from both these camps with 1 creep wave, just kept him occupied. Now up top, they're gonna be an initiation here. XY tries to kick things off. They've got the lift on the Rubik if they need it, but he hops into that Blade Fury. No telekinesis for you, and just back to farming here, so much more of a patient game, but I think pretty soon we'll start to see those, you know, 3-4 man rotations that are going to start leading to some serious carnage.
Black, I'm thinking like, who can actually, like, they don't have the best chrono heroes, of course. Like the Lone Druid was a nice pick to get a final hero to throw their damage inside and still utilize the power.
I'll take
But that doesn't come online that early, right? This whole like Lone Druid thing. So the first couple chronos are probably just gonna be more about like 1 hero kills the heroes than the big rotation or anything like that. It's just not all that much they can do with it. So much more focus around these 3 heroes: the Earth Spirit, the Magnus, and the Rubik, and they also all take a little bit to come online, other than I guess XY. So just a very quiet game so far, and it did open up a lot of this space here for Boombox to now almost get into level 6. Like, you don't punish this support Nyx whatsoever, so it turns that into a very good game, and really rewards the fact that they took this OD and left that option open for this being a support Nyx instead, because the greed is paying off for them. They're trying to bait Black a little bit down bottom here, but just sitting here, smoked up. It's still a difficult kill. He does have 4 points into the time walk.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Let's see if he's gonna get jumped here. I definitely think about initiating. There they go. They got what they need. The ult's gonna be channeled up, and they follow it up with that Nyx Impale. Though able to time walk off a little bit of it and turn things right around into the chrono. There's a save disrupt coming out, and Boombox able to get off that carapace, but it looks like things are still going to turn in favor of the Radiant. Long roll in from XY. Can they catch up to Fly solo? They need a bash here. Come on, Black, hit that bash piece. Oh man, Black taking a little bit of damage there, but they still get the kill on the Nyx and the Shadow Fiend. Oh my. That was an 0 for 3. Black is responding well, able to get off that time walk in time. If he had been completely stun locked down by Clutch, that would have been a very different fight. That would have been a free pick on the Void, potentially pressure onto the Radiant structures, but this is going to be...
Yeah. The real problem, too, was the Soul Catcher. That's why they didn't get that gank off, because it's a difficult skill to use, obviously, when it's a creep wave.
There we go.
Oh, it's over. Earth Spirit's dead. They're going to run away. It's fine.
Albang go for more here. Albang's got his Omni.
Right, XY's dead.
Okay, he's dead.
But yeah, he was in a wave there for Black, so...
Speaking of Black... Ow! Oh man, the time walk away right as the Omni went out. That could have been lucky, but was not. So, Clutch Gaming gonna burn off most of their mana right now.
This is Void. I mean, the hero's still so good, it's just so difficult without a steroid to help you out. You want your Bloodlust, you want your in power in this case. So I'm personally a big fan of Faceless Void. Cool hero. Big thumbs up. Armel chased his shrine uphill. Oh,
yeah.
Safe.
Dyer's top
Midas too.
He's been strolling for a while there. That's
Dyer's
a long
top
run for
tower
him. He's
is
trying to
falling.
juke and jive the bear. We'll find him. Oh, he's sandwiched. Oh god, he can't do anything. He's got the astral now, but look, he's rooted and is dead. It's so unfortunate. Just a couple wrong
That's
turns
can
there.
I get a team? Like,
Yeah,
but
that
no
was
one
a
had
long
TPs.
kite. That was like up under the mid lane, through the river, around this staircase, and up to the shrine. That was not a short run. There we go. XY initiating here. Gets off a nice magnetize. 3 heroes going forward. Flies solo. Gonna bite the dust, and that should be it there.
Dyer's
Crazy to
middle
think how much
tower is
momentum you
under
lose
attack.
off a single gank not working out like that. And now they're like trying to like force this issue down bottom, and they could be so far ahead right now. Boombox forced into Vendetta here, but they'll know he's up to it. Backing away mid from jabs too.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Black Chrono back up. Jeez, it's been that long. Minutes and 20 seconds. They just keep up this pressure.
Oh, up the river. Boombox is going to be right under a sentry ward. They're just going to lift him, slap him down. They got that stolen Blade Fury on the Rubik, and unfortunately a dead Nyx assassin before Clutch can do anything with him there.
Which my matriarch would prize.
The real depressing part is that that's wasn't able. Like, if he'd only lived
Oh,
through the
the
spin.
net creep! The net creep into the chrono! They bring in the dominated little troll dude. There's going to be that burrow strike out, but do they still got this? There's going to be another lift, another stun. They drop Hana down. There is going to be an epicenter available. The silence on fly solo ends. They might be trying to reinitiate here. Not enough follow-up to fully take out Hana there, but another net from the net creep moves forward. Shrine activated as Black goes to work onto the Sand King. Sand King thinking about going in for that ult still, but hasn't decided to channel it up. There's going to be a TP in from the OD now, bringing everything forward as Jabs is going to be running away. His bear doing a little bit of work, body blocking everything up. Lands another root onto this Shadow Demon. I think that's going to be the end of the fight for now as OD. Oh, nice. Do you have any damage though? That's the problem. The Shrine's going to be available. They're just going to go stock everything up, and now Boombox could be the one in trouble. Meanwhile, there is going to be a kill over here as Jabs goes down. They will find the return kill onto the Earth Spirit. This is a very messy, bloody fight. Started out by a poor little troll creep that I think lost his life somewhere in there.
Faceless are so good with these helm creeps. They do every time. They just buy these helms, and the hero just sits on a lane and farms, and they throw these helms into the fight, and they do so much work. Like, Ice's just not even there. He's just up top, and little centaurs doing work.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Time is
And
money.
they get way more out of that than you'd probably expect. So they continue to hold the top 2 on the net worth chart, but not too far behind at the top 2 here for the Dire side, so not a total loss. And Armel has got a haster and bottle up here and closing in on a Blink Dagger for himself. What they really need is that Blink Dagger from Rappy, which is done, sitting in the stash, and we might be able to get a nice smoke aggression play here with Boombox and a Vendetta too.
Right now, with all the action that's been going on bot and mid, we've had Ice just completely straight chilling here with his Centaur friend, and he is having a great time. This Magnus has just gotten so much. He's level 11 now.
Oh, this rotation maybe spotted out.
And they're going forward. There's going to be the dump onto the Rubik, but that's a dump they're willing to take if they bring an Abing. They can actually find a return kill here. Rubik down. Dire hunting for more. There's going to be a dust popped out. They do find the Nyx assassin, so it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade right now, and that looks like both teams are content leaving it at that, backing out.
I probably saved Ice. It's the fact that, yeah, your Rubik goes down, but he's the one who stopped that smoke gank coming, and maybe Ice would have made it out, but it didn't have to come to anything, thanks to the supports rotating up there. So probably predicting there was going to be a movement from CG into that, and either hoping they get the jump on them, or they just help protect Ice, and they did so. He's almost up into his Blink Dagger. Just gonna farm up some neutrals here. Wave. All good to go.
You got
Look
it.
at this empowered Centaur.
Dude, that thing...
Base damage increased by 50.
That thing is slapping you. Look at that. Oh god, he's got the circle around him too. That is some particles. Oh, Bang gonna have to solo the Centaur right now. This is like... We got 2 lone druids on this team.
Oh, nice choice by Black here. A little bit of initiation, a little bit of damage. Really Shadow Blade.
Oh,
He's
the
on his
first
OD.
hit bash! Got him! And XY's gonna take
Nice
that.
kill steal,
Yeah,
honestly.
there was that ping of like, oh, well, he got it anyway. Now, here we go. Centaur stomp onto 2. Is there the damage here? We got the RP at the ready. They bring in Lone Druid. This is going to be a skewer up. He's thinking about the RP. Goes in RP onto 1. Just gets Juggernaut down. They got the root as well. Fly solo. A couple hits from death. They do find that. Ice. Able to wrangle 1 down. But there's Sand King stomping around, asserting some dominance. And they may have to lose their Lone Druid here. That is a really harsh trip to take.
I guess at least Ice makes it out. Yeah, that's very difficult to fight in a scenario like that. Didn't quite have the full vision. There were some trees in the way before that, from that ward for a little bit of that fight, so understandable that he couldn't quite get the best RP. Kind of hesitates when he had a 2-man RP, and then it turns into a 1-man RP, but either way, with Shadow Demon on the side, it wouldn't have mattered too much if he got 1 or 2 in that scenario. Bottom lane, again, Invis here. Invis, Rune, and Shadow Blade. A little obnoxious. Armel, not again, dude.
Oh, again with the bash, dude. Black found it. Deep roll, but not going to connect. In fact, Armel, we want to turn this.
XY did not have the faith in that bash.
He didn't believe, and I think that's where his downfall was. Now he's in some trouble. He's going to get pinged out here. Goes the TP. Is the Impale going to be in time? Just a fraction of a second too late. Oh God, Clappy. It killed Clappy.
Yeah, his body just decomposes into the ground.
That's always the saddest thing, if there's like that particular home of the Dominator creep that you bond with, that you've had all game, and he gets killed. It makes you feel things, man.
Okay.
No, dude, I always name mine.
Clappy? Very original.
Oh, there's Clappy, there's Stompy, there's Bitey, there's Purgy. They're all creative.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, I'll allow it. Mid lane, Lone Druid, what a hero. Bear still does stuff. Stick towers.
I mean, it's about to take your life. It's gonna be the lift from the Rubik going forward. They smash down that Nyx assassin, holding him in place. They're getting low. Fly solo. Oh God, the bash. Dude, Black is on top of this. Dire got their shrine running. Black thinking about maybe going back in. Hits the chrono onto 2. Nyx assassin gonna get focused down easily. The Magnetize comes in as well. They've got the RP. There's an Omni's Last bouncing every which way. Oh God, it's a mess here. Looks like Hana's gonna be able to escape, but the OD eaten by the Magnus there. Bing trying to limp his way away. He's got himself the phase boot. He's trying to juke and jive around the creep wave, but it's not going to be enough. That is a killing spree going the way of XY on this Earth Spirit, who has been unbelievably active since Faceless started moving around.
Yeah, Faceless is not messing around today. Already onto the high ground, not even 20 minutes in. And that's a fight taken with no Rappy, no Epicenter. And he's like, oh, well, I farmed my Force Staff, guys. But too little, too late.
I'm gonna be real honest, I don't even know what happened around that fight at the shrine. I just saw a lot of fucking spells being used, but it ended up going in Faceless's favor. I think like almost everyone dumped their ult if they had it.
They just have so much vision here too. Like the ward up here, and now they're gonna drop
Let's just take a look at Radiant Vision right now. This is what Radiant are seeing on the map. That shit is lit up. They are seeing the entire Dire side. They're seeing this group up in Smoke Gank here. They can absolutely see what's going on. So if they don't know that something's up near the shrine area, then I think they're not quite using their eyes, because this vision is phenomenal. Commends for the supports on Faceless. So, Dire going in. I mean, this is about the time in the game where you expect the heat around the Roche pit to turn up a little bit. Of course, since the Shrines update, since all 7.0 stuff, Roche is a huge factor in being able to push high ground, and of course high ground translates to being able to take out Shrines and whatnot, so different game, different objectives, but 20 minutes in, this is going to get spicy. That's what I'm trying to get out. That was a lot of words to say Roche is now really important.
You are quite correct. And the cooldowns are back up ready for the Radiant side, though. And when you talk about that whole Shrine fight, that was a lot of just, oh, we can kill this Lone Druid, right? Yeah, no, we got him. And then suddenly you're getting RP'd and chronoed. And this is essentially a double bubble sort of a strategy here. You can almost call it a triple bubble because of Earth Spirit and the way he's able to follow up on spells. It's actually ridiculous. When you have these big, long stuns, too, like Chrono and RP, he can generally get off like 2 3-man kicks kind of a thing, or 3-man pulls during a fight just by playing off of those, so XY kind of has this game in his hands, and so far he's doing exceptionally well. Has his Blink Dagger, has his Arcanes, now it just becomes even easier for him to always get these clutch silences. Probably mostly onto Rappy and up in here. Who does at least have some Manta building into his defusal now.
Radiant's top
Take
tower
down
is
bottom.
under attack.
You know the Dire are 5-manning. They don't really have an option.
They're finally gonna cut themselves down to tier 1 in the top lane. Bing's definitely been thinking about that for a while. Fortify comes out, but that's not anything anyone's too concerned about. I mean, yeah, you got your Rubik here, but I don't think he's gonna be making a strong front line. TP in from the Magnus.
That's probably so salty he didn't just keep pushing there.
Oh god, are they gonna get this tower denied? That sucks. Oh, and here we go. Magnus gonna go ahead and eat an Omni Slash, so alright. Tower deny was worth it. They still get the kill they wanted, and Rubik is going to be able to get himself away. Meanwhile, there was a push going down in the bottom lane. Lone Druid makes quick work of that tier 2, starts in on the tier 3, but looks like everyone's going to kind of disjoint from here. It's just Rubik holding the top lane. Chunk of Dire Heroes holding the bottom. We got a quick pause coming out so we can evaluate what's going down. Overall net worth, about 10,000 in favor of Faceless. Similar story when it comes to levels, and you can just check that out too. We got Lone Druid at 17, but of course he's playing 2 heroes.
That was a very nice Sentry Ward combo, just while you're making that push, right? I mean, that's just what you're supposed to do when you play Dota, but they did it, and they're rewarded with killing the Magnus. And more so than the goal too, is just a lot of experience. Trying to get some of these more under-leveled heroes up.
Alright, quick potty break here for Faceless. But I mean, how's it going? I mean, obviously you see that there's a net worth for Faceless, but Clutch definitely still have some hold potential. They've got some good fights, got some good ults. Nice pick there on the Magnus all alone. What's Clutch's way to really take this game over?
Need Rappy in the game. It's the big thing. He needs to hit like some big epi, blow up one of these key initiators before the fight starts, or before they can at least get off their ulti. Like if he can help eliminate either the Magnus or the Faceless Void, or I'll even take XY at this point, to be honest. Just break up part of this chain, this combination that they have going. That's the most important thing. And then we talk about their draft and whatnot, but it's this idea of 5-man Dota, keeping everyone together, and needing Roshan pretty desperately if you're Clutch gamers. So big picks, wasted ults from the Radiant, and proceeding into Roche is really the best chance right now.
Well, we're going to keep farming up. Roche definitely a hot topic here, scouted out by a little melee creep on the Radiant side. So let's see if anyone from the Dire makes their way towards that area. But for now, everyone just kind of staying in their respective half of the map, working on the next big items. Anything real big coming out soon. Looks like Faceless Void working on an Aghanim Scepter after going for the Shadowblade BKB. Definitely thinking about getting the most out of his Chronos instead of just going for the raw right click. Big smoke up. Faceless making their way towards the Dire half of the map. They do stop at the Roche pit. They're able to de-ward a little bit. They see what's going down here. That observer, but they'd really just like to go and make a go at this Roshan without revealing themselves.
The Dire should know, because they see this Sentry and they see the time on it.
Yeah, they definitely know now. As Magnus just kind of strolls around the pit, but it's not going to be quick enough. The Roshan goes the way of the Radiant. Jabs picks up the Aegis. Now here we do have a skewer back. Outworld Devourer going to be punished. Able to go move himself forward, but it's not going to be enough as Black picks up a dominating streak. On top of just getting a Roshan with his team, this is looking great for Faceless. They've now got their momentum and they're going to ride it out. Try to push their luck here as they go back into the jungle looking for more.
Yeah, that's a great solo RP. Don't need anything else. XY even chucked down the Magnetize right at the end, but that's a dead OD for 30 more seconds.
So good.
Double Chrono ulting.
A Lone Druid starting to whittle down this mid tower. We got Magnus just at least clearing the way for the top tower. So, Ana moving forward. That's going to be a 4-step back. Nice impale hold for Faceless Void for just a moment. But Black can easily time walk that off.
10 seconds left on this B. I think they really want to pressure.
They're moving forward. Magnus able to separate Hana from the Horde, and that's going to be a kill. Very nice initiation. Just going, picking a target, dragging him back to the Hungry Wolves waiting in the back, and there's the tier 3 down. Shrines are now vulnerable on the dire side of the map.
They're like trying to set out these illusions from Jug, but it's only level 2 disruption anyway. It doesn't do enough. 75.
And this lone druid is starting to slap pretty gosh darn hard. A nice root, but Bang gonna be spinning out of that. Now there we go. Jump in onto the Magnus. This could be a big play. Black does have his Chronos Fairy. He's thinking about it. He's got to now wait until that time walk's ready to get some jump in, clearing out the wave, and
under attack.
now his face is gonna just completely back here. It looks like they've waited out OD's death timer, and they don't really want to tangle with a full health, full mana Armel.
Oh, they hold. They don't get the melee racks. Those will regen quite a bit. They only lose in tier 3. Considering the situation, not a bad hold from CG, but they got to get out there and find something. And sadly, by the time they're able to do so, these cooldowns.
What
are,
is
like,
this
the RP is
courier?
back.
That thing is a mess.
Oh yeah, it's one of those bugged out.
It looks like a tornado just hit his whole face. All right. Anyway.
Multiple auras and whatnot.
It's just a blob. Anyway, gonna be having Nyx go and scout things out. Is gonna find Black here, but that's not an easy kill. Black gonna go Shadow Blade right behind. Nyx has gotta be just like clenching so hard, making sure he's not walking under a sentry. And now the rest of the team, they're smoked
they definitely
up.
wish they had sentries right there.
Oh yeah.
Could have camped that shrine, but wouldn't have found them anyways. They do the wrap. They know. They saw the Empower come from Isaiah, so they can guarantee that he is also mid. And we just poke. Poke with the bear. There you go. Range rack this time.
And Jabs, he's got himself some Dragon Lances. He's tossing things pretty gosh darn far.
Just spies and Aghanim's.
Yeah, he's been working on it for a while.
The baller.
He got it. And now it's going to be Big Boy Chronos, a low cooldown. You see Magnus there looking to isolate a teammate, but not able to find what he's looking for. Carapace buys a little bit of time for the Nyx, making sure he's at least able to get back up to the high ground safely after that Rubik telekinesis. But here we go. The rack's starting to get whittled down. Hana goes in, Sandstorm to disjoint, but they got vision. Unfortunately, this Sanding is going to bite it, and now Black shows off his new BKB, new Aghanim Scepters. That Chronos coming back relatively shortly, and there we go. Magnus getting ready to just dump it all. He's underneath the tier 4s, for God's sake, and Faceless are just going to town, chewing up Clutch Gamers. We could be moments away from a GG here, but nice initiation from the Sanding. At least buying a little bit of time. The Sanity as a glitch does some work. The Rubik is gone, but Radiant, they're still here. Aegis burned off on the lone druid. Armel about half health. It's Nick Assassin dangerously low. The shrines aren't up. They can't punish him, but looks like Faceless may learn their lesson. They may just back out here, or not. As Sand King just goes and burrow strikes on through, so they know that's not something they have to worry about for the next couple of seconds. Oh, look at that initiation from the Magnus to get back on through. We got boulders flying every which way. Hana comes back in. The Gem of True Sight's on the deck, and Earth Spirit snaps that one up. Black looking for more, will get impaled, can't find that first hit bash that he loves so much. And then it's going to be a dominating streak up as Jabs finishes off Boomback, that low health Nyx that was hanging around the back, and there we go. Full lane of racks taken in the middle. Faceless come out victorious in the end.
Yeah, it's a tough battle. Took a long time to get it done,
And they're
but
not
in the end
done.
they
Black
do.
with that new Aghanim Scepter has that low cooldown Chrono. He goes in and he solos down the OD, who doesn't have buyback. That is game winning there for Black. That is phenomenally done.
Oh,
He
looks
just goes
like
right
Jabs
back in.
wants it. He's like, guys, come on.
Yeah, does this guy feel fear? Does he know what it means to relax? Looks like he's gonna BKB and try to go straight onto the Sand King. Oh, can they find this? Jabs is so gosh darn low. Look at Play solo. He gets taken down, but unfortunately the LB loses his life as well. Hana will get pushed against the wall and just completely taken out. Black's gonna go start working on this tier 3 here. Boomback, like to initiate in there. Miranda Burn, still sitting on the impale, but with Magnus there as well as XY, it's real hard to jump any of these guys. Another tier 3 out. Racks, they're getting low. There's a 3-man impale, but no one else is alive to help clean up the damage.
Well, at least drive them off here, but Jabs a little too crazy on that one. So aim still well in hand here for the side of Faceless. Looks great. They're starting to approach a 30k lead as they currently sit at about 25.
Yeah, similar story with XP as well, and of course with talent trees, that makes it all the more interesting here. You got your level 20s picked up by 2 heroes on the side of Faceless, almost your Magnus as well, whereas highest on Clutch is sitting at level 17, so still a long way to go for that OD before he gets his level 20 talent.
What have we here?
Oh, looks like another uphill battle here, Annie.
Yeah, I think you called it
Not feeling
out
too confident.
pretty well in the draft. I mean, Clutch had a really strong window where they could rotate and get things done and go in for pushes of their own, but if they miss that window, it gets so difficult. And you can see that now. I mean, how do you run against this lone druid that now has a full Mjolnir just on his body, on his person? This guy's smacking you apart. His bear ain't no little bitch either. He's hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, they just had like no way of dealing with him, honestly. The BKB is so strong. I'm on all 3 cores. Like, this is just, we're gonna end this game, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Items. Barring some like 5-man burrow strike epi shenanigans, blink into impale combos. There's just not much you can do on the side of Clutch Gamers. Just got outplayed once again, outmaneuvered. Lanes weren't a stomp or anything like that, as they just let the side of Faceless farm up, trying to do their own farm up strategy and hoping their 20-minute would be stronger, but it wasn't enough. And XY loses smoke. He's gonna know there's people up there.
I mean, you can know there's someone up there, but can you do anything about it? That's the problem. There we go. Gets him down to the low ground. Oh, being forced to go into that magic community. Look at that RP. The Magnetize comes down. They've got the Chrono as well. They're focusing on the Juggernaut in the Chrono, and they're able to get it black. Now, godlike. What an amazing Faceless Void here. And he's going for more. Gets that first hit back. Oh my, the carnage comes out. The GG is called. As Faceless, they just get their opportunity and they seize it. What an amazing game to watch. It's a 2-0 series in favor of Faceless, but Clutch Gaming, they're not out yet.
No, it's just our upper bracket match of the day here. This Faceless do dominate and crush, as he said. 11-0-17 from Black. God damn.
Whew.